I feel him. He has followed me from school.
Mom, he is here again.
No one is here, baby.
I knew something was wrong the first day I looked into that teacher's eyes and felt cold, like someone had poured ice water down my back. This is not a story about monsters jumping out of the dark. It is about small things, normal things, a school gate, a classroom, a smile that stayed too long. My daughter, Shade, was 6 years old then. We live in Ibadan, in a quiet area with many private schools. I moved her to a new school because her former one was too crowded. This new school looked perfect. Clean uniforms, fresh paint, friendly teachers. It was the kind of place parents trusted easily. On the first day, I followed Shade to her classroom. That was when I met him. His name was Mr. Adewale. He was tall and slim, always wearing long-sleeved shirts, even in hot weather. His voice was calm, too calm. He smiled when he spoke, but his eyes did not smile. When he shook my hand, his palm was dry and cold. I remember that clearly because it made no sense. It was noon. The sun was hot. Everyone was sweating. But his hand felt like it had been in air conditioning all morning. "Your daughter is special," he said, looking at Shade. "Very special." I forced a smile. Teachers say things like that all the time. But as we walked away, Shade squeezed my hand and whispered, "Mommy, I don't like him." I asked why. She shook her head. "He smells like smoke." That night, Shade had a nightmare. She screamed and cried, saying her teacher was standing at the foot of her bed, calling her name. I told myself it was just fear of a new school. But the dreams did not stop. Every night, she woke up crying. She said Mr. Adewale would come to her in dreams. Sometimes he had no face, sometimes his mouth was too wide, sometimes his neck was too long. One morning, while bathing her, I noticed something strange. There were light scratch marks on her back. I asked her what happened. She said, "He punished me." I rushed to the school that day. Mr. Adewale denied everything. He said Shade was clumsy. He said she liked attention. He said children imagine things. The school believed him. Other parents believed him. I wanted to believe him too. But then Shade stopped eating. She became quiet. She stopped playing. She started wetting the bed again. Every morning before school, she would vomit. One evening, while I was packing her bag, I found something inside her lunchbox. A small black thread tied in knots. I asked her where it came from. She said he gave it to me. He said I should keep it close so I can be smart like him. That night, I did not sleep. I remembered my grandmother's stories. Stories about spirits that wear human skin. Stories about witches who hide in normal jobs. Stories about teachers who are not teachers. The next morning, I went to school early and waited outside his classroom. I watched through the window. That was when I saw it. Mr. Adewale was standing alone, talking, but there was no one else in the room. His mouth was moving, but his voice sounded like two voices speaking at once, one deep, one thin. And behind him, on the wall, I saw a shadow that did not match his body. That was when I knew this was not imagination. This was something else. I pulled Shade out of school for 1 week and told the school she was sick. That week changed everything. Without school, Shade started to talk. One night, as I lay beside her, she said, "Mommy, do you know what he really is?" I said no. She said, "He is not a man, he only wears one." My chest tightened, but I stayed calm. She told me that Mr. Adewale would sometimes lock the classroom door during afternoon lessons. He would ask some children to close their eyes and put their heads on their desks. Then he would walk around. She said when he stood behind you, you would feel very heavy, like sleep was pressing on your body. Some children would start crying quietly, some would stop responding. She said he liked children who were quiet and obedient. He called them chosen ones. One day, she said, he asked them to draw their families. When she drew me and her father, he stared at her picture for a long time. Then he smiled and said, "You still have strong protection." That night, Sade woke up with a fever. She kept saying someone was calling her to come and learn. I took her to the hospital. Tests showed nothing. But the doctor asked a strange question. He asked if she had been unusually tired during the day. I said yes. He nodded and said, "I have seen this before. Too much stress or something else." He did not explain. 2 days later, I met another parent, Mrs. Akin, by chance at the market. When she saw Sade, she froze. She asked if my child used to be in primary 1B. I said yes. She started crying. She told me her son used to be in the same class. One day, he came home and said his teacher told him he had old blood. 2 weeks later, that boy fell sick and died. Doctors said it was a sudden infection, but Mrs. Akin said her son used to scream in his sleep, saying a man with fire eyes was sitting on his chest. She said the school begged her not to cause trouble. They said it would damage their reputation. That night, I called my aunt in the village. She was known for prayer and fasting. I told her everything. She was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "Remove that child from that place completely. That thing you described is not a teacher. It feeds on children." She told me to burn the black thread I found. She told me to pray. She told me not to confront him alone. The next day, I went back to the school to officially withdraw Sade. Mr. Adewale came out to meet me. He smiled. "You cannot run forever," he said softly. I asked what he meant. He leaned close and whispered, "Once a child enters my class, a door opens." I felt dizzy. The ground seemed to move. Then he stepped back and laughed, like he had just told a joke. I took my daughter and left. That night, Sade screamed louder than ever before. She pointed at the corner of the room and said, "He is angry. He says he belongs to him." I held her and prayed until morning. 2 weeks after withdrawing Sade, the school called me. They said Mr. Adewale was missing. Parents were panicking. Children were crying in class, saying their teacher was calling them from the ceiling fan, from the cupboards, from under their desks. One cleaner fainted after opening his classroom. She said the room smelled like burnt hair and blood. The school invited the police. They found nothing. No body, no signs of struggle, just his bag, neatly placed on the desk. That same night, there was a power outage in our area. Around 2 a.m., Sade sat up suddenly and said, "He is here." The room became cold. I felt it too. The curtains started moving even though the windows were closed. Then I saw him. He stood by the door, looking exactly like he did in school. Same clothes, same smile. But his feet did not touch the floor. His shadow moved on its own. "You took what was offered. Now you must pay." I screamed and called the name of Jesus. I held my daughter and prayed out loud. He laughed. His face began to change. His neck stretched. His eyes sank deep into his skull. His mouth opened wider than a human mouth should. I have worn many names. Teacher is just one of them. Suddenly, there was a loud knock on the door. The figure disappeared. It was my aunt. She had traveled overnight from the village. She entered the room, looked around and said, "He was here." She prayed over Sade until morning. The next day, news spread that the school was closing down. Too many children were sick. 2 more had died suddenly. The owner of the school disappeared. Some said the land the school was built on used to be a shrine.
Others said the teacher was never registered with any teaching body. His documents were fake. A week later, a woman from another town called me. She said she recognized the name and description of the teacher. She said 10 years ago, a man like that taught in her village school. Children died. He vanished. Always the same pattern. Always schools. Always children. Sade is 10 years old now. She is healthy. She laughs. She sleeps peacefully. But sometimes when she hears a man speak too softly, she stiffens. We moved to another city. I homeschool her now. People say I am overreacting. They say it was stress, coincidence, fear. But I know what I saw, and I know what almost took my child. In many African folk tales, demons do not come with horns. They come with jobs, titles, respect. They come as teachers, pastors, caregivers. They blend in. If your child says they are afraid, listen. Sometimes fear is not imagination. Sometimes it is a warning. And if this story reminded you of something strange, something you couldn't explain, or something you ignored in the past, you are not alone. Thank you for watching. If you've ever experienced anything similar, or if this story made you think twice, feel free to share or leave a comment. Someone else might need the warning too.